Good morning. If anyone ever wonders what coaches look like while they're working, sometimes it's a baseball hat and a t-shirt for sure. It looks like my day is pretty busy, so I think that's what it's going to look like today. So good morning, everyone. I wanted to put together a video. It seems like for Coach's Corner, the topics pick me or like come to me because of my clients. And it's this strange phenomena where everybody kind of goes through the same thing at the same time. And I think that's important to just throw out to everyone that a lot of times if we're experiencing elevated stress or anxiety or things like that, or we're struggling with our goals or moving forward on a project, it seems like it's always the same topic for the week or 2 weeks with my clients. So I just want you to get a feel for you're not alone in it. Whatever is really kind of triggering you, you are not alone, and that there's usually a group of other people going through the exact same thing as you are. So today I'm going to literally talk about triggers. It has come up for at least 5 of my clients. I am a very triggered person throughout my life. I come across in business or with my family as this very level-headed person, and I can go from 0 to 100 very quickly. It's usually, if it's in business, I would kind of hide it, and unless it was a one-on-one conversation, it's really stopped me in my track with moving forward with some relationships, but especially in my personal life. My poor husband, he can literally say something to me and I go from 0 to 100. So you are not alone if that happens to you. And what I want to talk about is what triggers actually are and a little tool for combating triggers. So what are triggers? Triggers are not when I get annoyed with something or I go from 0 to 3. So I want you to think about your week or your month, your past, what's been going on. Has there been a time where you go from 0 to 100? So I want you to start being aware of those times and really start kind of making notes on them. And what you'll find is it's usually 2 or 3 things, the same type of things, maybe not the same exact event, but there's a similarity to all of it, especially if it's with the same person, like my poor husband. So I had noticed one subject that kept coming up, and it was the dumbest thing. So on the surface, it just felt like, why am I getting triggered about this so dramatically? And it was not about the actual thing. It was about my feelings. So I want you to write down something that triggers you, something that gets you from 0 to 100, and write down next to it what kind of those feelings are and what that actually means. For me, it just felt like it was the silliest thing. I don't even want to say it, but it felt like to me, I took it as he didn't care, and it was disrespectful, and it wasn't something people do that are in a healthy relationship. It was the stupidest thing. I can't tell you. But it made me feel that way. And until I really recognized, oh, that's what that's about, I felt like people call it crazy, right? I felt like out of control. And I just didn't like feeling that way. So it's something that we get really emotional about, and we can almost like yell at people or point out this thing over and over again. So you've got the trigger, you've got the emotion around it. What is it really saying to you? And then I want you to write down a desired outcome. Because for me, I just didn't want to have this thing come up again and again. And I needed kind of a mini plan that I could communicate to Scott around this thing that kept happening. And so I actually put the desired outcomes. I didn't want him to do it anymore. And I actually thought maybe we needed to get a little bit more specific than that. So you've got your trigger, your feeling, your desired outcome. I want to have a happy relationship. And then underneath, I want you to just think about a mini plan. What is something that you can put a plan around? And then go have some powerful conversations. So I had to sit Scott down and say, you're going to tell me, don't call me crazy. I don't like that. But I can see where this might feel like a little unfair because it's literally something so irrelevant and small, but I get really upset about it. So I wrote him out a little plan of how we could get ahead of that thing. And then we literally, I put it in front of him and said, and walked him through it. Because a lot of times, just letting people know that we're not mad at them, even though it feels mad or it feels angry and we're yelling, we're not mad at them. We actually are that feel part is very loving and caring, and the desired outcome usually has something positive for both parties. And you just need to do a little mini plan around it and have fun with the plan. I mean, the stuff we do now, it's kind of silly and we laugh about it because it's literally stopped the other thing for the most part. But it's kind of that funny conversation that you have with somebody that you care about. So that tool is around triggers. I want you to give it a shot this week. At least, if you're somebody that's not triggered, good for you. But most of us have something, even if we've learned to tamp it down, have something that makes us go. And there's still something there that would be really helpful to have a conversation around. So it's really about having healthy conversations so that not that other person's going to be perfect and never do it again, but maybe just so you can come to the playing ground a little bit more even keeled, or maybe so that 0 to 100 now starts to kind of feel like 0 to 25. Or you might learn why they do those things. And really, sometimes it is just being unthoughtful. And other times, if they know that it's just this little thing that would make you happy, they want to do that. So there's really some positive outcomes that can come from looking at your triggers. So have fun with it and make sure you have that powerful conversation.